Hi everybody, we're going to be doing the market analysis for today. It's Monday the 26th of April, and I'm going to use a slightly different approach today. We're going to be looking at the market from a relative strength perspective. Right, so on your screen you can see the 360-degree market view, EA, and part of this is an analysis of currency strength. So on this first table that we see there, you can see the analysis of currency strengths over various time frames, but I'm going to have a look at what's happened in the last year, what's happened in the last week. And as you can see here, the US dollar has really taken a big hit last week, along with the Aussie. So the US dollar and the Aussie have gone down tremendously, and the figures you see here are the losses that they've made in pips compared to their other trading currencies that we monitor, and we monitor 8 trading currencies in this table. So the USD and the Aussie are the losers. Now let's have a look who the winners are. So the winners are the yen and the euro. There you can see 380 and 330 pips. So those are the winners. So now we ask the question, how does that help us? How can that help us make trading decisions? Well, in fact, it is an analysis of what happened last week, and to really catch up on what is happening at the moment, we really need to look at the charts. So what I've done is I set my charts up in a relative strength way. Now today we're going to be looking at the big 5, and they are the Aussie, the euro, the pound, the yen and the USD. And I have set up templates, or I have set up profiles for these charts. So let's go into the first template. So I click on that and it opens the first template. Now I've already done an analysis of the Aussie crosses, and you'll see there are 6 charts here. There's the Aussie CAD, the Aussie New Zealand, the Aussie Franc, Euro Oz, the Aussie USD and the Aussie Yen. So they are the major trading partners of the Aussie, or the trading crosses. And what I'm looking for is some form of pattern between the charts. Now the Aussie, I must say, is really mixed up at the moment. I cannot see any patterns, and as we look at other currencies we'll see more patterns emerge. But as you can see, the charts look quite different from chart to chart, and in fact it means that we need to evaluate the Aussie on an individual basis compared to its trading partners. So I've gone and done that, and I've identified some trades here. For instance, the Aussie CAD is channeling quite nice, bounce, bounce, bounce there, came down, bounced again, and theoretically it should go in the direction of the trend to the other side of the channel. So there's the first sort of possible setup that you could be looking at, and then there's also a setup should this fail to go to the other side. It would be a failed swing, and certainly a sell would be in order if it breaks below that channel line. So that's the Aussie CAD. Then we look at the Aussie New Zealand. Now that has been trending downwards on a continuous basis, and what we're saying there is that if this makes a new low, it would be a good idea to sell that particular one. Okay, we look at the Aussie Franc, and that too has built up a support area and is looking like it wants to sell. And as I say, as it breaks that support area there, you could sell the Aussie Franc. Then we're looking at the Aussie Yen. Again, a sells in order there. It's channeling. It's at the top of the channel. There's a rejection spike, and it looks like it might sell. The One thing I must mention, this analysis is taking place over a weekend. It's always nice doing these analysis over a weekend because the market is closed, you can take your time. But the only thing that we need to take into account is there could be some weekend gaps that spoil this analysis. So what I'm showing you now is my provisional analysis. I would wait for the market to open to confirm my findings that I'm discussing here. And then we have the Aussie USD, very similar in fact to the Aussie yen, also bouncing in a channel and also looking like a sell with that rejection spike that's just happened before the closure of the weekend. And here we have another beautiful channel, and it should actually go up to over here. So the target, in fact, oh, that's the wrong one. Let's just use the check sign. That's where the target is. It should, for channel trading purposes, be going up there. So if you want to trade it up to there, you can do that. I'm saying here's a nice support area. If it does break that support, trade it down to the lower channel line. Okay, so what we've done now is we've now analyzed all the Aussie crosses, and there has not been a really great pattern for the Aussie, because as you saw earlier, it is one of the currencies that has lost most of the value last week. So let's go to the next profile, and I'll just go down there, and we'll then move on to the euro. Right, so now here we have the euro relative strength charts, and by relative strength charts I mean that I have all the euro crosses on one profile, so I can see if there's a pattern emerging from the euro trading. And as you can see, there are the crosses. And let's have a look at a pattern now. As you can see, the euro shooting up there, it's shooting up there, shooting up there, shooting up there, shooting up there, and shooting up there quite strongly, and has moved up very nicely over there. So suddenly we can see a pattern. The euro has strengthened, and that confirms the information that we looked at earlier, where the euro was one of the biggest gainers last week. That is it. It's in a growth phase compared to all of its trading partners. So it's one of the strongest currencies in the market. And that's why I like using these relative strength charts that show the picture of a currency compared to all of its other partners, and then I can start seeing patterns. Now again, here I'm just going to flip through some of the charts quickly. What I see is a potential sell there. If the price goes up there, I want to sell. I know it's against the trend, but there's a good chance that this euro will come down over there if it goes into that particular corner. And why am I so confident? Because we've got a confluence of horizontal support and non-horizontal support in the form of a channel line, and that makes that particular area a strong resistance area. Okay, let's have a look at the next one. Now this is not channeling, it's actually a triangle. It looks like it has a level of support that could be broken, and should it be broken on the RSI, again I would want to sell that. The chances are, however, that this one will go up over here. Let's just mark it with a tick, and that's most probably where the I can't move that tick now, but it will go to the top line. Okay, the Euro Oz we've already done, so let's have a look at the New Zealand. I see I didn't do an analysis for that, although there is quite a bit going on here. And let's just see. I just want to see if there's anything. I'll do the analysis from scratch on this one. No, let's turn it into a triangle. That's a little bit better. Yeah. that could make it. And let's just have a look at some that's non-horizontal support and resistance, and let's have a look at some horizontal support and resistance. Now where it is right now is more or less a horizontal support and resistance area. I just want to see if we go a little bit higher where the next one is. There we are, beautiful support and resistance. You can see the resistance there, the support there, and there's our next support and resistance area. Let's have a look if we can find another area that's meaningful. There we go. Resistance, support, support there. So that's another area. Okay, so what we're saying is it's now in a triangle. It's very much consolidating and all that, but it could break out quite nicely. One would really just go with the market. If it breaks out north, you go with it. If it breaks out south, you go with that. So there's our analysis of the euro yen, the euro New Zealand, and let's go to the euro franc. This one is already broken out of a triangle, and I'm saying it's in buy mode. So if you want to buy this one, certainly go ahead and buy the euro franc. The euro yen, this one again, you can see how it's channeled sideways. Not very encouraging price action. Yeah, I would almost stay away from this particular action. It's not it has no particular bias there. Again, nice channel action happening here, but there's a very nice support area that I've seen here, and I actually like when I see that kind of support. I like the sell potential of that. It's also showing a bit of a reduction in momentum, so I would say there's a good chance of a sell happening right there. Okay, so now we've done the Aussie and we've done the euro, and you'll see on the next profile which is the pound, we now no longer have to do the Aussie. We now no longer need to do the euro because we've already done that. And let's have a look if there's any pattern in the pound, for instance, at the moment. So here the pound has weakened. There it has weakened, but in the short term it hasn't. There it's weakened. It's actually that is weakened because the pound is the second currency in the cross, and that's also a weakening pound, and a weakening pound. So again, now I'm starting to see some nice patterns coming out, not like the Aussie previously, which was all over the show. So let's have a look at some of the trading opportunities with the pound. So remember, it has a weakening profile, but it could, things could change depending on how the market opens on Monday. And here we go. Here again, we've got a beautiful channel. Again, you see that resistance area, non-horizontal resistance area there. Again, I would trade any breakout out of that over that trend line, or you can wait for the price to come right down here and trade the bounce on the lower level, which is quite a good one. 1, 2, 3, it would be number 4 bounce. So there's an opportunity, 2 opportunities there. Here I think we almost got it already. There's the trend line violation. It says it wants to shoot up again. If anything, this would be a buy transaction. And let's see, we don't need to do those two, so we come all the way here. Very messy setup here. I think for the New Zealand, I would give this one a little bit of a miss. No real nice tradable formations. This one is also a little bit tricky, but there is a very strong support here, so I would certainly trade a sell should that support be broken. The RSI, however, is setting up for a potential buy area, and you can see there's a divergence on the RSI, could break out. So I'll be watching two violations here. It could violate upwards and give a beautiful RSI signal for a buy, or the stronger move would most probably be a downward breakout out of this support area for a sell. So again, you see, you could actually straddle the market with when the signals aren't 100% clear. Again here, very much a sell type of setup. Again, beautiful support there. Should that support be broken, into a sell. Okay, so that's the pound, and again, a nice pattern. The pound was showing downward or weakening movement in almost all of its charts. Okay, so we're almost there. We're onto the yen now. The yen was one of the strong currencies, and the yen is the second currency in all the crosses. So when the yen is, when the chart is going down, it actually says that the yen is strengthening. And if we look at these charts, downward there, so the yen was strengthening, downward overall there, downward over here, sort of battling here. But if we look at the big picture, let's have a look. Yeah, downward movement here, and over here very messy. The franc yen is very, and you can see the spikiness of these candles. So I wouldn't even touch that currency at all. And then we look at the New Zealand yen, and again we see this downward movement. But I'm actually saying I'm very much a contrarian trader. Let's go and have a look. We're saying the time is almost right for a correction in this trend, and again we've got very good guideline there. There's the channel line. Breaks out of the channel line, you want to get into that buy. If it makes a new low, then it's saying the trend is strong, it wants to continue, and you then just do the sells. But you've got your entry areas well identified. Then we've got the same thing on the CAD yen. We've got this downward movement. We've got a very strong resistance area at the top, and we've had a nice support area built up here. Again, a beautiful straddle opportunity up there, down there. We don't have to look at these. These have already been analyzed under the euro, the pound, and the Oz. Isn't that nice? I've already mentioned this one isn't worth looking at. It's too spiky. The candles are way too spiky to trade. And then here's an interesting one that looks like a buy. The RSI is showing almost perfect buy signals. Two beautiful waves, a trend line violation happening there. So it's confirmed on the price chart, and that certainly is a buy setup, and it's most probably confirmed by a almost not a really good one, but a type of channel trade there. Okay, so that concludes the yen. So now we're moving to the USD. Now, the USD was the weakest currency last week, and let's see if we can spot how. Let's see if we can see a pattern there. Now, remember, if the USD is the first currency, going downwards would confirm a weakening pattern, and here we have the CAD. That's down, that's a weak one. The franc, that's a weak USD. Now, when it's the second currency, that's a weak USD. The Aussie is the only one that's unsure. The pound is generally upwards, and then the yen is definitely down. So we are seeing some patterns coming out here, but when you start comparing with other weak currencies like the Oz, you'll see if you have a weak USD and a weak Oz, then the currencies go sideways, and that's why you're seeing this strange movement for the Aussie. All right, so let's have a quick look at the Canadian. Again, I probably wouldn't trade this one. It's really not no nice patterns going there. And that's why I trade a lot of currencies, is I don't force myself to trade a particular currency. The Euro USD we've discussed, the Aussie we have, the pound we have, the yen we have. So we haven't discussed the New Zealand USD, which is also trading in a nice triangle. Again, you could straddle that triangle and trade the breakouts there, which will come. And again, beautiful upper resistance line there, a non-horizontal one for the franc. On the other hand, it is wanting to make major new lows, major ones, and the RSI is actually confirming that it's going to do. The RSI gives advanced signals, and you can see it's already breaking out of that support. So again, this is definitely more of a sell transaction. It's a with the trend sell transaction that's about to happen. So have a look at the trades that I've identified. Have a look at which ones really catch your eye or your fancy. On the whole, there are no real major high confidence trades that I've identified during this analysis, but it varies from day to day. One day you see 10 fantastic trades, and other days you see very few, but I have identified the areas that you should be looking at to trade in a certain direction for breakouts of these tight consolidations. Now, I hope you found this interesting, and I hope you found the layout of these charts where they are grouped. All the major currencies trading partners are all grouped together so that you can start seeing patterns within the currencies. So from me, Alex Deployer, I hope you enjoyed this, and I'd like to, and please make any comments in the comment facilities provided on this analysis. From me, Alex Deployer, cheerio. Bye.